I'd like to thank all the staff and all the professionals in our city that make these events that we do possible. We're very thankful for all the first responders that keep us safe at these events, and we're thankful for the professionals in our city that continue to deliver on fixing our roads and providing parks and leisure for our kids and family and things to enjoy. We are delivering in our community, and we need to pull together and celebrate that success. We need to continue to build unity through those successes. With our special downtown district and other areas around our great city, like the Parkway, we need to continue to build unity. The car show event had a great vibe. And it's really, it's important that we look at the positive things, and that people were relaxed, people were having a good time. It was the most relaxing time that I've had downtown in a long time. People were having a good time. It's unfortunate sometimes that things don't go right, but it went really well. And I have some stats on that. It was refreshing. And I recommend in the future maybe we coordinate with the fair so there's some good synergy. I don't think it really takes away from the fair, but it'd be nice if those things work together better. You know, the Bible teaches us to love one another, right? Encourage one another for unity. And it also says, be wary of those that are pushing division. Be wary. We don't need to be pushing division. Let me give you a couple stats. The brick and mortar stores downtown after this entertainment zone doubled their sales, all of them, and more. The security was a non-issue, and I'd like to make a recommendation, Mr. City Manager. I know they did this down in Louisiana, and we had an increase in, you know, anti-American and terrorist type of behaviors. I've been writing about this in the paper, but we need to tamp down the violence, right? They have these bollards for safety down in Louisiana they put up, and so we spend a lot of time, resources, and energy, you know, blocking the streets to do these events. I want to look into getting some bollards that are easier to turn on and turn off in our city, and look for some grant money to see if that's something long-term that we could do to really facilitate the things that we're doing downtown. I also want to make a couple of other points. The leadership from the volunteers and the people at Classic Image and those groups that were mentioned, it was uplifting to see how engaged they were in lifting everybody up everywhere. And I went around on my bike and talked to everybody, and it was just a great event, and the music was refreshing, and it just seemed like it was something that everybody could enjoy. I know we need to probably review the amount of money for the wristbands, but I want even if we lower it, and I'll make this suggestion too, when you pay for a wristband to drink alcohol, that's your contract that you're going to behave yourself. You don't want to give it away. $10 is probably too much, but we may want to revisit that. And along those lines, I think we got a formula here, because if the downtown businesses, the bricks and mortars made money, and the other vendors made money, we got to protect that, because that's a big success. And we haven't been able to unlock that formula. This one kind of unlocked that formula, and I think there was a lot that went into that. There was a lot of hard work, a lot of good leadership, but I would like to make a suggestion that we bring that ordinance back, and I think to sustain the gain, that we should lock this in for prohibiting any alcohol from outside sales. Only the existing brick and mortars that are on Main Street that have an ABC license should be able to sell alcohol. I want to bring that back and look at that as an option to protect those brick and mortar stores, because we don't want people to just start coming in and, you know, bringing their own alcohol, any of that stuff, or even someone coming in trying to sell on the street. We don't even want those brick and mortar stores to sell it outside. We want to sell it inside, because that worked. And you really had the family vibe, because these are establishments that are already in compliance with ABC. You can go inside and have a drink, and then you decide to take your drink out with you. That's fine, but it's still a family-centered environment when we stick to that. And I want to guard that in our ordinance. So I just wanted to make those statements about that, because I think it was a great success, and it looks like we created some revenue for the city. I noticed that all the numbers are not in, but I got a report that said that the American Conservatory actually lost money on this, but the city made a couple $1,000 off of it. So we should probably review that in the ordinance too, to make sure that we have that set right, Because there's some other programs that are very successful. I know Christy Martin was here earlier. They have the wine hop. It's a great event. They do that in the fall. And the way they have it now, you have to dump the wine out before you go outside because you can't have it on the street. But there's an ABC concern there because they sell a ticket and then they serve the wine in the private business, which I think is allowable. We'll have to review that. We just want to make sure. But you know, if we make that an entertainment zone, we have to contend with that ABC concern because we can't be giving away wine with tickets in places that aren't ABC certified. So we have to wrestle with that as we develop this entertainment zone. We don't want the success of this one to go against the success of some of the other ones. We want to try to make it work for everybody. And so I know that we can do that. I just wanted to make those statements and thank my colleagues for, you know, taking the risk and taking the chance because no risk, no reward. And I think it was a good risk. This is a difference between a gamble and a prudent risk. A gamble, you're throwing the dice. But when you get good people and good leadership and committed people working together to get something done, there's always risk. But it's prudent risk because you take all of the variables out of it. And we did a good job there for our city. And I just want to say thanks to everybody that was supportive of that. That came out of the downtown committee. And really appreciate everybody that participated and made that a success, especially our staff. Thank you, Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Mr. McKirby. And just for clarification, are you motioning that we look at the downtown entertainment zone to add that, or are you just requesting that?
I want to look at those things. If we need to make a vote to bring it back, we should do. I would make a motion for that.
There's two ways, right? He can make a motion now, or he could request it later. I think
it's not urgent, but you know, I think to your point, we could just put it back on a future agenda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think message is sent, and it's something that we could look at. You know, as you talk about that, I think.